Good morning. We have some announcements today, and the announcements are always on the screen, and Mike does a great job of compressing them into about 20 different slides, I think. Was it 20 again, Mike? Yeah, usually. Something like that. Okay. Anyway, there are four important announcements that I have on my page. The first one is that Women's Spirit registration is closing soon. Women's Spirit is always in September. I think it's the third weekend in September this year. And the early bird discount ends on August 10th. So if you're an early bird, you want to get your registration in before August 10th. And the papers are available in the library. You can also register online under the Members tab and on our website. Okay. The last day for donation to items to the yard sale, which is coming up on the 17th of August, is August 10th, a week before the sale. Put their items in bins marked yard sale in the red room in the Religious Education Building. For large item pickup, call Carol Stanfill. August 10th is also the last day to rent a table if you want to rent a table and sell your own merch. There you go. Okay. Adult enrichment registration starts this month, and instructors will be turning in their ideas for course offerings by August 10th. I was urged to do that. I don't know if I have anything to offer, but, well, who knows. Okay, the fall catalog will go out immediately afterwards, and these courses are open to the community, so tell your friends. Registration fee is only $15. And there are a couple of free ones. Oh, okay, that's cool. And finally, the change for change this quarter is going to be Cat's Meow. Cat's Meow is a cat-only, no-kill sanctuary where all cats are available for adoption. So, those are our announcements. In a moment, we're going to have our opening song. And she's ready to spring. Here she goes.
Good morning. Great to see you this morning. Our gathering song today is the beautiful song Color and Fragrance by Norbert Chopik, usually or often used for flower communion, which he created. I invite you to rise and embody your spirit as we sing together.
So, good morning again. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Las Cruces. We welcome those of you who are in our sanctuary and those of you who are following us on streaming technology. And I'm Charlie Sholz, your service associate for today. Our minister, the Reverend Rod Thompson, is not in the pulpit this morning, but our service leader is Mark Sukontarak. Our director of music, of course, is Catherine Massey, whom you've already met. She's joined by the UUCLC pickup choir, who I understand have left their pickup in the parking lot. Our director of religious education is Kelly Ingram, who will be joining us in a moment. Assisting us in tech is Elwin Nunn on camera and Mike Yasko on streaming technology, and he's also running the audio board today. The chalice table was prepared by Diane Lee and Jillian Lang. Our greeters, whom you've already met, are Cindy Bachman, Greg White, and John Seeley. And hospitality today is offered by the Social Justice Committee. We're all delighted to have you here today. If you're visiting us today, we'd like to meet you. If you're in the sanctuary, please rise in body or spirit, and I'll bring the mic to you, and you can tell us who you are and where you're from. Do we have any visitors this morning? I guess we're all familiar, aren't we? Okay, that's cool. Any visitors online, Mike? No one. Already. Turn the page. If you are a shy visitor, by the way, you can fill out a visitor's card in the lobby, and then you'll, if you leave us your email, we'll get in touch with you with all the events that are happening here. We always like to say that Unitarian Universalism has no creed or dogma. We are a covenant-based church, meaning we agree to live in a relationship with each other according to the Unitarian Universalist principles and our congregation's covenant of right relations. We embrace diversity in all its forms. Everyone is welcome here. And you can find more about our church at our website, uuchurchlc.org. And please join us after the service for a coffee and conversation inside or outside, depending on your willingness to take the sun. And it's in the Religious Education Building just down the breezeway.
Good morning. Our opening words are number 417 from the Gray Hymnal by Barbara J. Peskin. For the beauty of the earth, this spinning blue-green ball, yes. Gaia, mother of everything, we walk gently across your back to come together again in this place, to remember how we can live, to remember who we are, to create how we will be. Gaia, our home, the lap in which we live, welcome us.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are from Leslie Pohl Kozbau. Flame of fire, spark of the universe that warmed our ancestral hearth, agent of life and death, symbol of truth and freedom, we strive to understand ourselves and our earthly home. Please rise as you are willing and able to join me in the recitation of our covenant and the singing of the doxologies in English and Spanish. The words will be on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is our sanction, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in the community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. From all that dwell below us be seated.
Good morning, church. Good morning. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Today I'll be reading the story I Wonder by Annika Harris. Ava loves to look for the moon. It follows her from place to place, disappearing behind trees and mountains, and then appearing again someplace new. Look, Mama, there it is, she says excitedly while out on a walk with her mother. The moon looks beautiful in the sky, says Mama. How do you think it follows us? Ava thinks about it, but she just can't figure it out. It's okay to say, I don't know, when we don't know something. When we don't know something, we get to wonder about it. I wonder if the moon and earth are friends, says Ava. Her mother smiles. I like that idea. But Mama, how does the moon really stay close to us? There's an invisible force called gravity that pulls all the things in the universe together, Mama explains. Gravity keeps the moon close to the earth, and it keeps the planets close to the sun, and then they circle around like this. Ava understands a little bit better, but then she starts to wonder. Mama, she asks, where does gravity come from? I don't know, Ava. Nobody really knows for sure. And when no one knows the answer to something like that, it's called a mystery. A mystery is something for everyone to wonder about. How fun, says Ava, as she imagines herself wondering about gravity together with all of the people in the world. Ava watches the moon disappear behind the clouds as she walks, excited to see where it will appear next. How many grains of sand are there in the world, Mama? I wonder about that too, says Mama. There are trillions and trillions of grains of sand, but nobody knows exactly how many. Ava tries to wonder about all the sand in the whole world. It feels so big that I can't fit it into my imagination, says Ava. It makes me feel dizzy, like I'm falling. I know what you mean, her mother agrees, and I'm sure other people feel that way too. Ava walks down another path, looking for the moon, when a little orange butterfly appears. Then she notices that there are butterflies everywhere. Mama, where did all these butterflies come from, she asks. These butterflies have been flying around for a few days, but they started out as caterpillars, and those caterpillars came from eggs, and those eggs came from other butterflies. There are cycles all around us, with one thing ending and another beginning. Things are always changing, Ava. Can you think of other things that change? Wonders Ava. Clouds, frogs, and me? Ava and Mama keep walking. Later, Ava wonders and asks, Mama, what was here before butterflies and frogs and clouds, before everything? I don't know, answers Mama. It's another mystery. Sometimes I like trying to imagine what was here before the beginning of everything. What do you think was here? And Ava answers, smiling, I don't know. She wonders about it for a long time, and then she has an idea. I wonder if there were feelings. Mama smiles. She likes that idea too. As she and Mama walk home, Ava sees the moon again, glowing brightly above the roof of her house.
Let's go inside and look for the moon through the window, says Ava, and she excitedly runs towards her home, leaving Mama to watch and wonder. We live with some pretty big mysteries. When we come upon one, it's a little gift that we are given. Every mystery is something for us to all wonder about. What do you wonder about?
Would you rise as you are willing and able and join us in the opening hymn, number 207, Earth Was Given as a Garden. Our theme this morning is the appreciation of nature. And we thought that the stone and water ceremony would be a perfect reflection of that. Two of the basic elements of life are earth and water. So with the stones representing earth and our vessel filled with water, I'd like you to come forward, pick up a stone, drop it into the water vessel, and silently say to yourself the joy you feel as you contemplate nature. Some years ago, I led a seminar on Ralph Waldo Emerson. I really enjoyed it because I hadn't pursued many of the writings of Emerson, and one of them was his essay on nature. And I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs from the introduction because I think it speaks very well to his reason to explore nature. You have to remember this is early 19th century, and so you may not like some of the pronouns, but it's Emerson. Our age is retrospective. It builds on the sepulchres of the fathers. It writes biographies, histories, and criticism. The foregoing generations beheld God and nature face to face, we through their eyes. Why should we not also enjoy an original relation to the universe? Why should we not have a poetry and philosophy of insight, and not of tradition, and a religion by revelation to us, and not the history of theirs? Embosomed for a season in nature whose floods of life stream around and through us, why should we grope the dry bones of the past or put the living generation into masquerade out of its faded wardrobe? The sun shines today also. There is more wool and flax in the fields. There are new lands, new men, new thoughts. Let us demand our own works and laws and worship. Undoubtedly, we have no questions to ask which are unanswerable. We must trust the perfection of the creation so far as to believe that whatever curiosity the order of things has awakened in our minds, the order of things can satisfy. Every man's condition is a solution in hieroglyphic to those inquiries he would put. He acts it as life before he apprehends it as truth. Let us interrogate the great apparition that shines so peacefully around us. Let us inquire to what end is nature.
My homily is Renewed by Wonder by Reverend Peter Friedrichs, and paraphrased by me. I've never seen the Northern Lights. Have you? I would definitely like to. Natural phenomena like the aurora borealis are awesome in the truest sense of the word. They create within us a sense of awe. There was an awesome display of nature at its finest one recent summer night. Did you see it? Did you see the comet that went speeding by Earth? It was so close and so bright that you could see it without telescope or binoculars. It was called the comet Neowise, named after the space telescope that discovered it. One of the more amazing and frankly shocking things about Neowise is that with all our fancy telescopes and other equipment scanning the galaxy, no one even saw it until March, a few months earlier. I mean, how did it slip the notice of every astronomer on the planet until then? Neowise sped around the sun and then boomeranged past us at a speed of about 144,000 miles per hour. And I hope you saw it, because the next time its orbit will bring it by Earth will be when we are more than 6,800 years old. Nature, of course, can also be awesome in its destructiveness. And it's not all just beauty. Look at what happened on the Gulf of Mexico in hurricane season that year. Hurricane Sally blew through Louisiana and Mississippi in just a couple of hours, dumping a whopping 2 feet of rain on its way through. Can you imagine? It must have been like standing under a fire hose. And look at the wildfires in California that year. Though many of those blazes were man-made when started, the scope and breadth were natural in all their awesomeness and fearful power. We witnessed the smoke-filled skies and the homes and habitat and the lives that have been destroyed, and we mourn with those who have lost so much. Whether it's the beauty of nature or its destructive power, natural phenomena move us in ways that even the most impressive man-made structures cannot. They reach down into the deepest parts of ourselves and generate reactions of wonder, amazement, and awe. One of the deepest responses they generate is a serious and sincere questioning. They raise questions about the scope of the universe and the scope of our lives, of our role within the great cosmic dance. How insignificant we are in the face of the 14 billion year history of the universe, yet how significant we are to each other. Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist extraordinaire, put it in this way: we must recognize that the very molecules that make up your body, the atoms that construct the molecules, are traceable to the crucibles that were once the centers of high-mass stars that exploded their chemically rich guts into the galaxy, enriching pristine gas clouds with the chemistry of life, so that we are all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically. That's kind of cool. It makes me smile and actually makes me feel quite significant. It's not that we are better than the universe. We are part of the universe. We are in the universe, and the universe is in us. We are the universe, and the universe is in us. That's quite a statement, and perhaps it's a reminder we need to hear once in a while. Nature is not something apart from us. nor are we apart from it. We are a part of it. Our lives, no matter how insignificant they may seem, are in reality integral to the unfolding story of the universe. There are, of course, other sources of wonder beyond the natural ones I've described. There's the beauty of music and of mathematics, the flow and grace of dance, the color and coherence of painting, sculpture, and the visual arts, the surprise and delight of a new or different cuisine. All of these things can be sources of wonder. But how does an experience of wonder renew us? I invite you to think about a moment or an experience of wonder you've had. Or to put it another way, a time when you experienced awe. A moment where you spontaneously uttered the word, wow. Anne Lamott calls wow the third great prayer, along with help and thanks. She tells us that wow is when we are stunned to the place without words. So think for a moment about a wow experience you've had. Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? How did you feel? These wow moments renew us by reminding us that life, and that's life with a capital L, is a gift that comes unbidden and unearned from some unseen source. Encounters with beauty and grandeur, with the vastness of the cosmos or the intricacies of the most intimate, offer us the opportunity to renew our relationship with ourselves and with the world around us. Encounters with surprise and experiences beyond the everyday, those wow moments, help us to step outside ourselves, however briefly, and remove us from our routine and expected existence. Encounters with coherence where we glean, if only for a moment, how the world works, how everything's connected, how our particular piece of the puzzle fits, offer us reminders that we belong to something larger than ourselves. All these encounters help us to step beyond the narrowness of me and the arrogance of our egos. Yes, this can be humbling, and maybe that's as it should be. But as Anne Lamott reminds us, moments of awe and experience of wonder take our breath away and make room for new breath. She adds that when we experience awe, we feel the elusive energy that moves through us and the air and the ground all the time, that usually disperses and turns chaotic our busyness, distractedness, and moodiness. Sometimes when we gather for worship, we sing a familiar centering song that you probably know that proclaims, "There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in that love." Those words to me are an affirmation that there is a coherence to the universe, that there's some great mystery that beyond our knowing and beyond our naming. that I and we and all are part of it. Just by singing that song, we can, if we allow it, encounter the renewing power of wonder and awe. All of these moments of wonder, of awe, of wow, point us to one thing, one vast source of renewal, one welcome bubbling string of cool and refreshing water along the arduous journey of our lives. And here's where language gets a little tricky. These experiences lead us toward an encounter with meaning, with purpose, with the holy, the divine, with God. The author and cultural historian Thomas Berry put it in this way in his book, Evening Thoughts Reflecting on Earth as Sacred Community. The universe is the primary revelation of the divine, the primary scripture, the primary locus of divine human communication. And I would add these words of my own. Wonder and awe are the doorways through which we walk to encounter it. It was a warm night last July when I stepped out of the cabin in which we were staying in northern New Hampshire, a few miles south of the Canadian border. In fading light, I walked down a tree-covered hill to the dock that stuck out into the lake like an index finger, pointing me toward something. I lay down on the dock and looked up as the last glow of setting sun faded in the west and an inky blackness overtook. I allowed my eyes to adjust, and as they did, a cascade of stars revealed themselves to me. The first awesome moment came just a few minutes later when I watched a bright light traveling from the southwest horizon to the northeast. It was too fast to be a jet and too slow to be a shooting star. I wondered if it was a UFO. Then I realized it was the International Space Station, passing right over my head, carrying 3 precious souls hurtling through space. A few minutes after that, my daughter joined me on the dock. I was sorry she'd missed it. She lay down beside me, and together we scanned the space between the Big Dipper and the far horizon. As we searched the sky, we talked. We talked about important things and silly things, and we pointed toward the shooting stars that streaked across the sky. And then, as the deeper darkness held us, and all the night sounds of crickets and frogs and loons fell silent, we saw it. A smudge of light in the western sky, like someone had taken a star and smeared it on the dark page that spread above us. There it was, this cosmic visitor named Neowise, already streaking away at an incomprehensible speed, never to be seen again by anyone who's now alive on planet Earth, nor for hundreds of generations to come. And from both of our lips escaped that. And from both of our lips escaped that third great prayer. Wow. This day and every day, I wish you peace. Amen.
There
I was thinking of a wow moment that Mark inspired me to think about. It was the first time I saw the Grand Teton Mountains. We came out of Jackson Hole, and there they were arrayed on the western horizon. I said to my wife, this is just amazing. And we drove off the road, and believe it or not, there was a plaque there identifying the mountains in the range, which I thought took a little bit away from the wow moment. I thought it was rather ironic that someone had to identify these mountains for us. Oh well. The operation and outreach of our church needs your input and contributions, and this is the perfect time to think about what you can give back. In a moment, the greeters will pass among you with the offering baskets. Please give generously. But before they do that, I want to remind you that we support organizations identified by the Social Justice Committee with what we call our Change for Change program. This quarter's recipient for our Change for Change donations is Cats Meow, a cat-only, no-kill sanctuary where all are available for adoption. And you can give to them by putting your change in the basket or by writing Change for Change on the note line of your checks. Please give generously.
May our own wow moments remove us from routine and expected existences and renew our relationships with ourselves and with the world around us.
Please join me in saying the words to extinguish the flame. The words are on the screen.